Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love, and today we're gonna be making a super delicious cashew chicken. And of course, it's gonna be low carb and keto friendly. So this is actually a dish that I used to always order at an old favorite Chinese takeout when I was growing up. So I'm super excited to share with you, and I hope you enjoy this recipe. So we're gonna go over the ingredients and of course, a step-by-step. Okay, and these are the ingredients that you'll need. So first we're gonna start off with a pound of chicken. So these are chicken tenders, but you can use breast or thighs, you know, your chicken of choice. We have our sweetener, we have soy sauce. If you're keeping it paleo, you can use coconut aminos. Then we have ginger. You can either use powdered ginger or fresh ginger. We have our rice vinegar, salt and pepper. I'm using minced garlic here. We have our pepper flakes. Then we're gonna use an egg white from here. We're not gonna use the yolk. We have our arrowroot starch. We do have some sesame oil, and then this oyster flavored sauce that we're gonna be using. Then we're gonna move on to our veggies. So we have our onion, we have our red bell pepper, our green onion here, and then our green bell pepper. And then we also have our cashews to top it all off. So this is what we'll need for this recipe. It does sound like we're using a lot, but trust me, it's a super simple recipe. This is just to create the sauce, which is gonna give it all that flavor that you definitely need. There are certain things that are like non-negotiables, which were probably like your sesame seed oil, the rice vinegar, the soy sauce. Those are things that are super important to give it that like Asian flair that you need for this dish. So let's go ahead and get started on our sauce. All right guys, so we're gonna get started on our chicken. So all you're gonna need is an egg white. We're gonna just grab our little egg here. Okay, and you're going to separate. So let's go ahead and hope that we don't mess this up royally. Ooh, that was so close. Okay, so we just need the egg white. Typically, you know, you're not gonna break that. Okay, and we're gonna use our arrowroot starch, throw that in, and we're gonna make it frothy. So let's see. This is what it's gonna look like before you throw your chicken in. Just making kind of like this little paste. It looks kind of nasty, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So after, that's what it's gonna look like, kind of foamy, frothy. Okay, and then we're going to throw our chicken in. I need a spatula, but I'm gonna do that. And we're also going to season it. So we are going to do our salt and pepper. Okay, throw that in there. And just gonna mix this all in. Okay, and once it's nicely coated like this, we'll go to the stove. I'm gonna add a little bit of avocado oil. You can also use some coconut oil or olive oil, but just remember, avocado oil doesn't smoke until it gets past 500 degrees. So it's always good if you're gonna be cooking on high heat. Okay, so let's go to the stove. Let's take our oil and let's cook. Okay, so we have our chicken. We're gonna use this skillet here. We are gonna pour a little bit of avocado oil. So you probably wanna do about a tablespoon at a time. We're going to cook half of the chicken at once and then the other half, okay? So we're gonna cook it in two parts to make sure that it gets nice and crispy and doesn't get messy. So let's see right now, it might be hot enough already. Okay, you can let your oil get a little bit more hot, but this is what we're gonna do. And you don't want them to, you want them to be separate so that they get nice and crispy. Okay, and once you fill up the pan, then you just wait for the next batch. Okay, and while our chicken is cooking, we're gonna get a head start on our sauce, okay? So first we're gonna pour our soy sauce, and you can use coconut aminos if you'd like. So here's our soy sauce. We have our vinegar. This is rice wine vinegar. Okay, then we have our sweetener. Okay, so I'll use Using that, we're gonna add our little pepper flakes, chili flakes. We have our minced garlic. I'm gonna use 1 teaspoon of this. If you're using fresh garlic, then you would use 2 cloves. Okay. And you can use powdered ginger, but I actually have some fresh ginger. So I'm going to get about a teaspoon of ginger, okay? And just kind of grating this little baby. I want to grate my skin off. Okay, don't do that. Okay, sorry. You guys know I'm pretty savage in here, so trying to use fresh, that's what I get for trying to use fresh ingredients. So basically you want a teaspoon of ginger, okay? And again, if you don't want to go through that, then you just use your powder and it's going to be just fine. So we have our sauce mixing. We almost forgot our little oyster sauce. We're going to use about half a tablespoon of our oyster sauce, okay? About there. This is just extra flavor, extra flavor. So it seems like a lot of ingredients, but if you think about it, the only thing that you really don't have in your house at the moment is more than likely the oyster sauce. And what else? Oh, and maybe some sesame oil. Other than that, you have garlic, you have, you know, red pepper flakes, you have soy sauce, ginger. If you don't have, you know, the fresh ginger, you have the powdered ginger. So most of these ingredients you have at home. Those are probably the only 2. And the good thing is that I'm making a lot of these Asian inspired dishes at the moment. So you'll be able to make all of them and you already have the ingredients. So here is our sauce. We're gonna place this to the side. We're gonna go check on our chicken and make sure that it's cooking, you know, it's cooking through. Okay, so these are ready to be flipped over. This is what you're looking for. I had a little bit of water on my chicken, so it's a little dumpy, but you can see that beautiful golden color. And as soon as we're gonna let this cook for about another minute, and then we're gonna throw in the rest, the second batch, okay? Okay, so this cooked for about another minute. And remember, they don't have to be fully cooked because they're going to continue cooking. But just wanted to show you what this is looking like before we throw in our next. There's a little bit of the, we're gonna put a little bit more oil. Clean that off right now. We'll grab that right now with a little paper towel. But we just wanna add a little more oil so that our next batch is nice and crispy as well. Okay, so now our second batch is done, and we're gonna go ahead and put this over here with our first batch. I cooked it about 4 minutes on one side to get this nice golden color right here. And then on the other side, I honestly just cooked it for about another minute to 2 minutes. Okay, so we removed the chicken. I kind of tried to clean it a little. We're adding a little bit of oil, about a good tablespoon. You can use about a tablespoon or 2. And now we're going to saute all of our veggies. So we're just gonna put everything in here. Okay. And then we are going to add our onion as well. Okay, so now we have our peppers and onions. You're basically gonna cook this for about 4 to 5 minutes until the onion is nice and translucent. I did add an extra tablespoon of avocado oil just because I want, you know, I felt like it needed a little bit more, but you can gauge yours just in case you guys don't use as much of the, maybe your pepper's a little bit smaller, but I felt like I needed it. So now we're just gonna cook this down. Once it's all ready, I will show you the next step. Okay, so here are peppers. This is what you're looking for. If you can see the onion, it is now translucent and it's been cooking for about 4 to 5 minutes. We're gonna pull this off the heat. Really quickly, let's grab our chicken. Okay, so we have our chicken here. We have our sauce. And now we're going to mix everything together. So let's go ahead and put this back onto the heat. Let's go ahead and put our chicken back in. Okay, we're gonna put our chicken in, and then we're just going to mix our sauce. That's all the flavor right here. This is all the flavor. So we're going to let that boil so that the sauce can thicken a little. And then once we're done here, I will show you what it should look like. And we're going to add our cashews and our green onion. So let's go ahead and let this sit for a bit. Okay, so the green onion, you just want to cut it at an angle because they just look prettier. And we have our cashews, okay? So let's go ahead and, this is almost done. Look at our little beauty. I know. So we're gonna add some of these onions here. We're gonna save a little for the garnish. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Got a little stick in there. Okay, so we're gonna mix that in. You can see the sauce has now pretty much thickened up. It's gonna be delicious. Okay, so now that we've added our onion, let's go ahead and also add our cashews. And again, this is your dish. If you want to add more cashews, then of course, go right ahead. These are whole cashews. You can also, you know, do like a rough chop on them. And then this is almost ready. We're also going to sprinkle a little bit of the sesame seed oil. So that's going to give it one of the final touches here. And definitely going to add some flavor. Okay? So there we have it. We're going to let it sit for about another 30 seconds or so. This is pretty much done. Okay? It's so good. You guys are going to love this. Holy rice, as you can see how nice and fluffy it is. I'm going to show you my trick on how I get a super fluffy cauli rice. This here is very plain Jane because we obviously don't want the rice to take away from the main dish. I'm going to show you how I serve it, but here we have our cauli rice and then we have our cashew chicken that we are going to serve, okay? And we're just going to use the same spoon because we're about that savage life. And I'm just going to show you how I would put this together for dinner. Okay, so I'm going to serve all the rice on here and then I'll show you once we are putting the chicken on top. Okay, so we have our cauli rice here. We're just going to make a little bed for our chicken. Okay, so this is how I would typically serve some cashew chicken. I'm going to try to make it not look so messy. You guys know I'm not a professional here, so we're going to add some more cashews just so it can look pretty. Okay, and we're going to top it off with some of these little green onions. Probably need to be cut a little smaller, but guys, we have just finished our cashew chicken with our cauli rice, and I will link the cauli rice in case you guys don't already have a recipe for it, so that you guys can make this delicious dinner and you don't even have to go out for Chinese takeout. Okay, and of course, for my favorite part, the taste test. So here is our little beauty. Okay, and you can obviously use chopsticks, but the best I can do is pick up a cashew. So we're going to use a spoon, okay? And I'm gonna grab a little bit of this garlic, the chili garlic sauce, because I'm about that life. And we're gonna get a big, beautiful bite with everything on it. And let's taste. Wow. Guys, this is like the real deal right here. It reminds me of the Chinese food place I used to go growing up. It was a little place in Peak River called the Magic Walk. This reminds me of it right here. Let's do one more bite just to make sure we love it. And that cauli rice, Super simple. It took about 5 minutes to make from start to finish. And I think the chicken, if you have everything set out, it's probably gonna take you about 20 minutes from start to finish, but it's so worth it. And if you're alone, you can meal prep this, and if it's a family, it'll feed your whole family. So definitely worth making it. Make sure that you tag me so I'm able to share it on my stories. Okay guys, so I hope you really enjoyed the recipe. It's super, super simple to make. I know it seems like it has a lot of ingredients, but trust me, it's so worth it. So I hope you guys make it. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah! Until next time.